Hello. Stephen, Daniel, hello. Hopefully you can hear me. I think you should be able to because I haven't changed any settings. Turn that way, no, that way I can turn it. Football Lad TV, Stephen, Ryan. Hello, good to hear it's all good. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I do one every year, but it's usually in like March time when I'm sort of stuck for video ideas. And I thought, well, 2022, it's start 2022. I've just sort of, I've been stuck with my equipment that I use for quite a while. Sort of since I've had my custom darts, I've not really changed a lot. So I just thought, why not make a video on it? See what people think. No doubt it will change. I'm getting some custom flights, so they'll change. And since I've recorded, I've changed actually, because I'm back to using Target diamond points, the 36mm ones. But I was using 30mm points when I'd done the recording, but I just cut that bit out. Rick, how's it going? Hello. Daniel, I will be probably playing matches next week. I'm going to try and do a stream every Sunday where I play games. This week I just want to talk about Q School and stuff because I don't have too long. I've only got like an hour, so I don't want to faff about and settle that up. So yeah, next week we'll have a game. Jesus. Oh, something else that has changed. I'm back to using, you can hear my dog downstairs, I'm back to using Loxley stems, whereas in my video yesterday, I was using my personalised stems. Now, I think I might have thrown it away. No, I haven't, it's here. So, I did do a video, but I was messing about with some different shaped flights and stuff. I was going to make a video on different shaped flights. And I usually hole punch my flights, as you can see there, just so they stay on a bit better. And obviously because I was messing about with different flights, I didn't want to hole punch them, and I stuck them just in the back end of my personalised stems, as you can see, and the end is completely broken off. So what happened was, I had a dart in the board, and another dart come in and hit like pretty much straight down the middle of the stem, and the stem snapped. And as I was about to throw my third dart, something hit me in the ear, and I thought it was a fly. And it wasn't until I got to the board that I realised the stem had been broken. And there was one piece of one of the prongs out of the stems out of the forward snapped off. And I looked on the floor and it wasn't there. And I come all the way back here and it was actually back here. So it was from the point of me throwing, hit the back end of the stem, broke the stem, and the thing come flying out the stem. And as I was here, it come past me and hit my ear within like a second. So, and then I've had a couple of those Red Dragon stems snap. I had this one completely snap on me. I had one of the prongs come off, and when I first got them, there was one that I dropped on the floor, and it just completely snapped flush with the barrel. So they're quite brittle. So I've changed them back out now. And what I'll probably do is when I do a set of custom darts, I'll probably ship them off with those customised stems, along with maybe some custom flights. Which is a shame, because they're not bad stems, and they're probably fine if they're punched, but I don't know, just one of those. Ugh. Who kept up with Q School today then? Because I probably missed a large chunk of it because I was at football this morning. I did keep up with a few of my mates' results and people who follow me and people who I follow. I wouldn't say there are any real big shocks. It is tough in the first stage of Q School because it goes down to a last 8. So what, you've got to win like 5 or 6 games, which if you're a decent player you'll probably be able to do. And if there's 8 people going through, there's not really going to be any big shocks. Like people were saying Fallon Sherrock was in the first round was a big shock, but she lost to a good player. And in the deciding leg, he went out in, what was it, 11 darts? And Fallon was sat on 91 after 9 darts. That's not a shock, it's just losing to a player that's played just as well. $73 dart leg on the European Q School games. Jesus, I've never, as bad as I have been at darts my whole life, I don't think I've ever had a 73 dart leg. Really impressed with Josh Rock. Yeah, he did look quite good actually. I looked at a couple of his games and he was beating some decent players. Just DM'd you on Twitter. Yes, I did. Did I send a reply? I saw it and I wrote a reply. Whether I sent it or not, I don't know. Let me have a look. Yeah, I did send it. You've asked, I wouldn't say the wrong person, but the hate for Fallon baffles me. Some seriously insecure men. Yeah, there's a lot of it on that. I tweeted about that All Things Darts Facebook group. There's a lot of it on that, and I don't really get the hate. I kind of understand. So for me personally, I understand why people get annoyed that Sky just push her out there so much. I understand that, but I don't understand how you can be annoyed at her ability. Hopefully Nathan Gervin makes it through. Yeah, another good player. There's a lot of good players in Stage 1 of Q School this year. I don't know how many go from Stage 1 to Stage 2. But you think how many really good players there are in Stage 1 that either used to have a tour card or who've just been on the WDF tour and stuff for years, and then they've got to get Stage 2 where they're playing people who have just dropped off the tour. It's going to be very tough to get a card. Oh my god. Oh, what a horrible deflection. Yes, mate, I'm all good. I had football this morning. I've got a big cut on my leg because someone tackled me late and the ref didn't give a free kick, and I had to go at the ref and I probably should have been sent off or sin bin, but one of those things. One of those things. Luckily, I only played around the corner so I could get home and get showered and watch a bit of the old Q School. Oh my god, I've never seen so many people in my chat. It's ridiculous. I think a lot of people not wanting her in the Premier League is being mistaken for hate. Yeah, that is one of it. That is one of the things. I think a lot of the hate isn't really towards Fallon Sherrock, or if it is, it's because of Sky Sports pushing her all the time. And then yeah, there's a lot of people mistaking her being in the Premier League or even being questioned about being in the Premier League, sort of starting to hate. How do we think Leighton will do? He lost in the first round today, didn't he? But I didn't see who he played, and I didn't see how he played. But he's good enough to get through Stage 1. I don't think he's good enough to get through Stage 2 just yet. I think he's one of those where when the pressure's on, he's not as good. I don't think he's a floor player at all. He's one of these that I think thrives a bit off the atmosphere and like off stage games. Well, I was saying that a lot of his tournaments would have been floor titles, but then when you're that much better than everyone else in your sort of youth category, you're going to beat a lot of people. But like people say that he's really good at exhibitions and stuff, but when there's no pressure, but you can also thrive with that sort of crowd, you're going to probably play well. If one's moaning about Fallon getting the events without a card, if there were Barry Hearn shoes and saw the money she was still attracting. Definitely marketable, but I don't think she deserves a place in the Premier League. Yeah, I'd agree. I think you could give her a challenger spot if they were going to do that again. But yeah, I think your sort of minimum requirement for the Premier League is you have to be sort of like a top 16, top 24 player, and you've got to have sort of done well in certain things. Because I would even say, like, people were saying Ryan Searle for the Premier League, but for me, Ryan Searle, oh my God, 26. For me in the Premier League, Ryan Searle's a weird one because he's not really won. He won a Players' Championship this year, played really well, played well all year, got to the finals of the Players' Championships tournament. But is he actually that big outside of like the online dart circle? Because a lot of the time where he's been cheered during TV tournaments this year has been the back end of the year after he played Peter Wright where he was the underdog, so people are going to cheer him on anyway. Played Willie Borland where it was England versus Scotland, so people wanted to cheer Ryan Searle on, and then again played Peter Wright where he was the underdog and people are going to cheer him on. And when you are the underdog and sort of casual dart fans don't know who you are, when you play well, they're going to be even more on your side. Not saying that Ryan Searle couldn't do a job in the Premier League, but I don't think he quite deserves it. That's just my personal opinion. But then again, there are people inside the top 10 and other people inside the top 16 that actually haven't played well. So that's one of those. PC don't care about Fallon welfare. All they in Sky think about is dollars. Yep. That's what I would say. I think pushing her out there all the time is all well and good until it gets too much and people get annoyed and people don't like her because they shove it down their throats. Similar thing happened, people who watch WWE, I've watched a bit of WWE sort of on and off for the last few years. There's a guy called Roman Reigns and WWE were sort of treating him as the next big guy. Kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, kept giving him the world title and stuff, and people got sick of it. And then, yeah, and as much as they tried to treat him like a good guy, it wouldn't work. And then all of a sudden they stopped pushing him, turned him into a bad guy, and everyone's sort of a fan of him now. So it's one of those things. Obviously in darts you can't turn someone into a bad person, but the point is if you keep pushing someone down someone's throats, and then people are going to go off them, even if she was winning games against big players. Ooh, nice and low. We're playing quite well recently, not that these darts really show it, but I am playing in a hoodie because it's cold and I'm trying to talk at the same time. But I've actually been playing alright. Had a 15 dart leg on Friday night. First ever time I've hit. So in our league you have to write down 15 dart legs or under, and it's the first time I've had like the writing down of your leg because it was 15 darts or less in a league game. Price does a good enough job for that. Yeah. Thing is with Price, he's too far the other way. Like, you can act like the bad guy in darts, but there's only so far you can go before people start to hate you for it. And I tweeted during the Worlds, I said it's been coming for a long time. People slowly started to boo Price, and then he kept giving it the big one and kept going on. And he says he thrives off the crowd, and as soon as something goes wrong for him, and now he's at the top, it's even more elevated and exposed. Have a go at the Devil's Finish. When that first became a thing, when the video first came out, I actually recreated it perfectly. I was trying to recreate it, so I was like, fat 9, I sort of put the dart sort of like here, which is probably about where Ted Hangy put it. I tried to miss the double 8 on purpose and I come down here, and I tried to go double 16 and it went there. I was like pretty much spot on replicating the Devil's Finish, even though it wasn't a Devil's Finish. Oh, busted the wrong way. I think they put her in as a challenger. Phil Bars was alluding to the fact earlier he's had some inside info and she'll be a contender. That's what I think. I think last year they didn't do contenders obviously because of COVID, but I actually prefer it without contenders. But I think this year they'll bring back contenders because they want to put people like Fallon, Ryan Serling. I can't remember if they've got an Exeter weekend this Premier League, but if they do, that'll be the one that Ryan Searle plays, because that's where he's from. Not that many people probably know that actually in that area, but he's not from Exeter, but he's from around that way. Because you'll always have a big Ireland one. You'll always have a big Irish event. The ball's gone really bright, isn't it? Let me adjust it. What is going on here? Hello? We're back. That's the problem with these auto-focusing boards and stuff. Problem is when I walk in front of it, I think. Darts are dropping low. What was I saying? What's my best game of 501 so far? 13 darts. Had a chance to do an 11 dart the other week. Messed it up. Ended up being 16. My best in an actual game is 15, which I done on Friday. But my best in like a practice match or an online match is 13. Yeah, screaming in your opponent's face is where it gets too far. But the problem is, people do it against Price, like Kim Hybrex does. And then he gets annoyed about it, and then he does it back, and then the crowd turn on him. And the problem is with Price, because he's no longer the underdog, people won't even celebrate the fact that he's getting in people's faces. Come on. Ever done a double finish? Yes. In the league, so I sort of played league darts again properly for the first time sort of this season, so September, August time, when the leagues all started up. I used to play back in the day when I sort of averaged like 45 when I was a bit younger, but when I sort of got into darts properly over sort of lockdown and sort of just before the first lockdown, that's when I sort of started taking practice seriously, because obviously I had time on my side. And then when we come back into the leagues this year, I had 92 left and went single 20 and 2 double 18s to win the match. Was it to win the match or to win a leg? I was playing doubles with Bob's, Mrs. Ref, darts referees, Mrs. I was playing doubles with her and hit a double finish. And I was genuinely quite surprised, because I'm not the best double 18s hitter in the world. But I was buzzing with that. It was in this little small room, everyone was watching, hit 2 double 18s, and everyone was like, whoa, cocky. But it was genuinely because I'm like 72 left, 2 darts in hand, I'll always go 2 double 18s, even if I'm not great at it. 131. I was going to do a double finish Thursday just gone, but I didn't. I kind of bottled it a bit. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was a 76, that was it. Because my first dart went exactly like that. So I had 96, hit that, 76 left, and I thought I can go double 18, double top. And double tops, like, I can hit, I would say 9 times out of 10, like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 times. Like, give me three darts at tops, and generally I'll hit it. So I was going to go double 18, double top, but then my problem was I'd probably missed the double 18, fuck myself up. Ooh. It's one of those days where I can't quite throw because I'm a bit blur because of football. We'll get there. Ugh. Did the dance ref playing Q School today? Yes, he lost 5-1 in the first round to a South African guy, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, got a few people who I play with that have gone to Q School this week. Adam White, who does the Darts Planet reviews, he's gone to Q School. He won his first game and lost his second game. And someone called Ian Plum, who you may or may not know. He's not really like a YouTuber or anything, but he's played sort of GDL and he follows a few people. He won his first game and then he lost in the second round to Colin Osborne 5-4. I believe it was last year or the year before. He was one game away from getting, I think it was last year, he was a game away from getting to stage 2 and he didn't quite get there. I almost hit ball 25 ball once. Don't even know why I tried it. I was so close. 125 finish. I left myself 125 the other day and hit 25 and then I think I got a single one. Ooh, similar to that, but not quite. Edgar streamed Jack's game. Yes, I saw a tweet saying he streamed Jack's game. Easy views, isn't it, really? So I'm streaming a Darts Ref's game and everyone will come watch. That's why he done it. Main man, Lennon Craddock, he's here. I'm not doing any games today. I might play some next week, to be fair, because I'm going to try and stream every Sunday. So might do some next week. But yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, I watched your video yesterday and I saw you mentioned the Lakeside qualifiers. How bad they were. What was I doing? I was doing because you sent me a video and I watched it while I was somewhere. Oh, I was at a tournament, that was it. I was at a darts tournament while you sent me that message saying how bad Lakeside was. Kind of glad I didn't go, to be honest. Great player. I'm not that good. I'm deceptively good, and I think the reason is because I can have these games or legs where I play okay. But generally, I'm about a 6. My Super League average says I'm a 60 average player, so I'm a 60 average player, which isn't great. Nightmare. Do you play online sometimes? I played an online game yesterday for the first time in God knows how long, against Mr. Love Darts. And I'm hoping on Sunday afternoons I'm going to be playing people online. Not today, but in the future. I want to look to stream between sort of like 4 and 5 PM or 4 and a half, 5 PM, like only an hour and a half. Just playing people online. I think I tried to play people online before on stream, but the problem was I didn't really get enough viewers, so I'd play like one person in a best of 3, and then I'd play another person, and by that point sort of everyone sort of left and doesn't want to play anymore. But yeah, playing okay at the moment. I think it's just sort of confidence. But I played all right Thursday. 1-2-0. Didn't play great. It was one of those games where the guy you're playing wasn't great, and he was slow, and he was adamant that he walked off to the left of the oche, despite the fact that there were people sitting literally along the oche. So he was trying to squeeze past. I have to wait for him to get past before I even approach the oche. So it's a bit sort of one of those games where you sort of stood here and you wait for him to get past and you go and throw. Friday I played really well, had a 15 dart leg and a 18 dart leg to win 2-0. Again, it's one of what I liked about Friday's game when I played on Friday in the league was all of my first dart every time was going straight in the middle of the treble, at the top of the treble. If I could do that every time and follow it up, I'd be so much better. Because I'm not very good at following up my first dart, and I don't know why. People say aim at the flight, but when I aim at the flight, I go over the top. But I've not got the hardest throw, so I don't want to try and like force it, because I think I'll just either drag a dart low or throw it too high. So it's just trying to replicate that first dart. But I think for on Friday, I literally, like, first 9 darts, first 3 visits with the both legs I played, each first dart went in the treble first dart. I think I started with 100, 140, 85, and then second leg I started with 140, 100, and 97, I think. Oh, shut up, dog. Jesus. My throw is much better. It's getting there. I think before it was a bit like, I used to hold the dart up here, which isn't terrible, but I used to sort of do that and go like that. I think my throw looks better on video than what it is in person. And it's also straighter. My follow through used to be like, I used to have a good follow through, but I used to sort of do, was it that? I used to sort of do that and cut across my face a bit. I used to do that. So I'd get a lot of low 1s and high 5s, but now it's a bit more straight. I still have darts sit low, but I think that's just a case of getting that adjustment right. Renz is it? Hello, welcome. Still drop darts quite low. What darts am I using? I am using my own custom darts. Hang on, let me get Streamlabs up. I'm using my own custom darts. They are 23 grams, 48mm long by 6.4mm wide, based on the Loxley Rock Eagle at the back, which is, I believe, similar to an Adrian Lewis dart, and then a Red Dragon Dragonfly 3 at the front. Unfortunately, no longer for sale. I'm getting the last batch shipped to me pretty soon. But there's a couple of tweaks I want to make, so I may be getting a second barrel done. Quite possibly. Zach did design these, yes. I sent him a picture, I said, here's a dart I like throwing with, here's a dart I like the design of, stick them together, here's the dimensions. And he literally pretty much got it spot on first time, apart from the colour. Where the front section is here, it used to be alternate, so it'd go red, black, red, black, red, black. I didn't like it. If anything, I much prefer a plain tungsten dart, which is what my next dart is going to be, hopefully. Sort of the front grip similar to the old Daryl Fitton darts, the Data Dart G-Force ones. So I think I need a little bit more grip. And I'm hoping for something a little bit longer and a little bit thinner. So I'm hoping about 50mm by 6.25mm. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know. It's one of those things where you might not be able to possibly get those dimensions. But the old darts I used to throw were 48mm by 6.2, but you can't do that because of the quality of the tungsten from the factory that we order from. So, oh, Jesus. So, like 48mm by 6.4 was like the minimum I could do if I wanted a 48mm barrel, which I was pretty set on. But I'm pretty comfortable I could do a 50mm barrel. And then I'd have them a bit thinner with a touch extra grip. Oh my lord. There we go, those last two are right. Ugh, can't throw for toffee. Found your channel like 3 days ago, love the streams. Any tips on how to start getting straighter throws? My arm always goes to the left. practice games where you practice throwing straight is a key one because it'll get your muscle memory correct. But I have a video on how to analyse your dart throw. If you have, most people have a smartphone nowadays that can film in slow motion. Set your phone up underneath your dartboard, put it on a chair, like it can be at any height, put it directly in front of where you throw, and just throw like 9 darts and just see what happens to your arm when you follow through. So if I stand straight onto the camera, I used to throw and I used to sort of go like that and come downwards. So what would happen was I would release late, because if you watch me now, I throw a lot of darts low and they'll land here. But when I used to throw diagonally, my darts used to sort of either land up here or land down here. So my sort of area was here, whereas now it's more like here. So I'll hit a lot of 60s where my darts will go rather than like vertically that way rather than going that way. So definitely try and follow all the way through and try and stay as straight as possible. Like I say, filming your throw helps that because you can see whether you're sort of doing a cross or whatever. So try and just keep your elbow high, follow through straight, get the follow through all the way through. The last thing you want to do is like that and stop, because your arm, when you stop like that, goes like that and sort of, and then yeah, just practice games. Try and hit as many straight darts in a row as possible, and then you go back to 0 if you miss, or yeah, just there's a lot of practice games out there. One, I can't remember what the video is called, but there's a game called Tidy, which there's a channel called Darts Class. If you haven't seen, go on there. He's got a video. He's got a game called Tidy where it's just about keeping straight darts. And he done one last week or the week before where you're sort of hitting the big numbers, so 20, 19s and 18s. So yeah, that's another good one. Let me talk about throwing straight and hit treble 12. That flight needs replacing soon. Hello, hello, hello. Am I planning on doing Q school? No, not at the minute. I've been saying the last couple of days, I just want to naturally progress as a darts player, and then I'll probably reach a level where I'll sort of slow down. Now, I sort of did last year. My average for the whole of last year was probably around 60, and it still is, but I'm much more capable now of sort of staying above 60. Love Darts in the chat. Hello, hello. Daniel Williamson, hello. I was saying to Love Darts yesterday, who's in the chat, Mark, Friday, I'm much more capable of hitting like a 59, 60, 61, 62 average, and I won't really stray out of that too much. I might hit the odd plus that, but my subpar game is like 57 or 58, and it doesn't really drop below that. Whereas you get a lot of people who will average like 55, but they can also average like 75 on a game-to-game basis. It's really weird. But once I get to that point where I feel like I can do okay in like local tournaments and stuff, which I already am. I'm sort of getting to like last 16s and stuff. I'm doing okay. Once I get to that point where I'm going a little bit further and beating some better players, that's when I might consider doing Q school. But again, it's one of those things where Q school's quite a big commitment. I would rather just play a lot of local tournaments. Ooh. I do ramble on a bit, but Joey, hello. Charlie, hello. Bobs, hello. I was talking about you earlier, Bobs, about someone asked if I ever hit a double finish, and I was saying when we played pairs against Finningham away, and I hit 2 double 18s to win a leg. Oh my lord, big 3. I saved it last dart. I'm the same webcam darts. My lowest average is 45, my highest is 60. Yeah, my lowest average this season is like 51, but I played shocking. But other than that, like it's literally just below 60 or just above 60, like all season in Super League. But I haven't really strayed away from that. Whereas you get some people like sometimes they'll throw like an 18 average, and then next week they'll throw like 25, 26, which doesn't make sense. I don't understand how you can be that sort of player. Mistress. Doesn't a mistress mean that it's someone who you're seeing without your partner knowing? But I don't have a partner, so it makes no sense. And I'm not seeing Bob, so that doesn't make sense either. $60. 18, 29, 21, 30 averages. Yeah. Played well that day. I hit single figures all game. Yeah, I did carry. I use 25 g darts. Really good. Just need to get decent. Yep, it will come. The more you play, the better you'll get naturally. I done a tweet yesterday when I first got back into playing darts a couple of years ago. It was on my Snapchat memory side 2 years ago. Yesterday or the day before, I took a picture of a game that I played and I averaged 40, I think it was, or 45. And I took the picture because I averaged 60 for a leg and I thought I was amazing. But now, if I average if you do like a 15 dart leg, what's that? 15 dart legs, so 100 average. I wouldn't even take a picture of that now. So it shows how far you can go in 2 years. Are those Loxley? Are these low key? Oh, Loxley clear flights. They are. They are. You probably can't see on the webcam because this won't focus. This one might, but I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, they're the pink ones. I've got the pink ones and I've got the blue ones. I've got a couple of sets of the green ones. But yeah. I done a what's in my case video yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, 100. I'll explain a bit more there, but yeah. Like I say, I've done the videos for Loxley and they just send me a load of stuff, so I might as well use it rather than buying stuff that I don't need. I used to buy loads of just flights and stuff just for no reason. Oh, look at that, on the wire or in again. I did actually the other day put in an order with Darts Corner to get some different flights. I ordered some Dimplex flights. Because I used to use, when I was younger, I used to use Dimplex flights all the time. And I kind of forgot, and then I found a set of Dimplex flights in my drawer, and I was like, I used to use these all the time when I was younger. But I bought some slim flights just because there was a video I wanted to do. And then I've got pairs and kites just laying about, just in case you want to sort of mess about different setups if anyone comes around my house. It's just one of those things. Now we're getting there now, look. Slowly closing it in. The dart's sitting a tiny bit flatter than normal though, flying well. Yes. Probably because I've got the longer points in now. Because I was, although you probably wouldn't have seen me when I had them, but I was throwing with 32s before that as well, so now my points are a little bit longer, they're sitting a tiny bit flatter. When I was using the 30mm points, I stood like Wade Miles darts used to sit in, straight vertical. But yeah, because I'm using longer points now, they're sitting a bit flatter, but that's how they sort of used to sit. I don't mind it, to be honest, as long as my darts are not really any lower than that, I'm alright. How long are your points now? 36mm. I need to buy some more 36mm points actually, because I've only got 2 sets, and they're in my 2 sets of darts, so I need at least one more spare set of points just in case. Ugh. I might have a spare set of 36s actually somewhere. I don't know, there's so much dart stuff in this house, I'd lose it all. Oh, 140. Would you recommend longer points for me? I like my dart to sit just upright. I was debating whether to try them or not. You can do. It depends how you throw. Obviously you use the whitlock, so you're a bit further at the back. But effectively what a longer point does is it gets your dart to the board quicker. So that extra sort of mil can sort of take you from sort of entering like that, or if you lose a couple of mil, you're sort of dropping in a bit more. That's effectively how they work. Because by the time your darts reach the board, no matter whether you grip from the, whether you throw from the front or the back, if you're using standard flights, they'll sort of, as they go through the air, they'll come back up. And it just depends, that extra couple of mil can make all the difference, whether they sort of hit the board early and stop, or if they hit the board late and keep sort of dropping, if you get what I mean. So it sort of depends how your darts already sit in the board. If they sit too high for you, a longer point might help you out, but it does depend. And it also depends on how you grip, because the reason I went, there was a point where I was using 40mm points. This was during lockdown. I was just messing about with all different things when I wasn't taking darts too seriously. And what I realised is where I grip the dart, where my finger goes underneath like that, I used to sort of do that, and my dart would like rotate in the air. But now I've sort of stopped doing that, so I can get away with using the longer points again. There you go, Charlie sort of explained it perfectly. Sometimes when you change a bit of equipment, you might have to compensate somewhere else. So Charlie switched his grip a little bit between the front and the middle, and Charlie brings his, when Charlie throws, he brings his dart sort of all the way back, and he really sort of propels the dart, a really nice sort of follow through. But Charlie was having a problem where he used to hit his nose, so he sort of used to do this and hit his nose, and he sort of went down to a little bit shorter stem, and he sort of fixed it a little bit. Because Charlie, I don't think he'll mind me saying, he went through a little bit of a, just before the season started, just as we come into the season, he went through a little bit of a spell where he wasn't playing as well as what he can. Now he's sort of slowly, he's come back to sort of playing better darts now, so sometimes things change naturally and you don't realise over the period of time. Like for me, my throw's changed. If you watch a video of my throw before, I used to sort of do this, come up here and sort of do that and throw, but I don't do that anymore. I just sort of come up, drop just below my cheek and up. So, and I didn't try and do that on purpose, that's just how my throw's gone over time. I also throw just to the side of my face because I was getting distracted seeing a dart in front of my eye. Yeah, some people have that. I can't sort of hold the dart, well I guess I do throw a dart in front of my eye, but it's sort of just to the side of my eye like that. But my dominant eye is my left eye, but I don't really take much notice of that eye dominance. And some people said it could hold me back, but I just think if you get used to your technique, it's more muscle memory than vision. 121. So it's one of those things. I say I'm not a darts coach, I'm not an expert, but I like to think I've had the opportunity to play with enough equipment to sort of know a good amount to advise people. That's what I'd say. And also, like, same as a football coach, Jose Mourinho wasn't a professional footballer, but he was one of the best coaches in the world. It's quite easy to say that self-isolation I was in last year was a dip in form. Yeah, that's one of those things. Sometimes little things like that can put you off, whether you stop playing darts for a few days. I went on holiday in May. Just as I finished playing GDL, I sort of finished up my GDL games, left the GDL, went on holiday for a few days, come back, and because I've been playing darts pretty much all day, every day, because I just graduated uni, when I come back and tried to throw darts after like 4 days of not playing, I just couldn't throw. It's one of those things. Who do you fancy to come through Q school? I can't remember how many go through, and to be honest, I don't I'm not going to get every single one right, but there's sort of like some people who I almost nail on to get through. So Matt Edgar, he's been to Q School so many times, he's so experienced in terms of Q School, in terms of his floor play, in terms of how he prepares for tournaments and stuff. I think he's sort of in the best position to approach Q School. Yella Clarkson, for example, never been to Q School in his life, so it could be one of those things where he maybe crumbles a little bit under pressure, or he misinterprets the standard of Q School and just treats it like another floor tournament. But at the end of the day, Q School was pretty brutal. Connor Scott, I think, has a good chance. I didn't see how he done today, but I think he has a good chance of getting through just because he's been really on form towards the end of the year in the WDF tournaments. I can't really think who else. Mine's gone a bit blank, but they're sort of the two that I'd pick. I still think Yella Clarkson's good enough to get through, but he's not the same Yella Clarkson he used to be, but he's still capable of pulling out a big result. I cannot get the darts to sit up in the board. Flat accuracy is there, but getting killed in the 180. I throw more cover shots than I would like to admit. I don't really know. To be honest, if anyone's ever having trouble with like the way they want their darts to sit or just sort of general things, feel free to message me on Twitter and I'll get back to you. Because it's one of those things that I won't really know until I see your setup or your grip. So for me, I'll never get darts to sit like really upright because I'm a front gripper and it's just the way you throw. If you're a front gripper, you're kind of dragging the darts through, rather than when you're a rear gripper, a lot of the time you're pushing the back of the dart sort of upwards and it recorrects itself. So if you're a rear gripper and you hold at the back, it's the wrong way, you're probably going to push the dart up like that. So if you watch Adrian Lewis, when he cocks the dart back and pushes it, his dart goes like that and comes back down before it reaches the end of the board. Whereas me as a front gripper, or if you watch Martin Adams, who my grip's kind of based on, you sort of pull the dart through, but it never really goes back under like that. Because if you do that, it's just going to sort of flip in the air backwards because you're going sort of against momentum. Rear gripper. Strange one. Some rear grippers do get the darts to sit flat. It sort of depends. Oh my lord. Depends on your follow through and stuff. Some people like to sort of float the darts. Phil Taylor was a bit more of a sort of mid to rear gripper, wasn't he? And his darts sort of come up and sat because they were flat. They never sort of really went down and up. They sort of went up and down rather than like that. Yeah, Steve Burton done well. Played Diogo Portel and John O'Shea, so we had a pretty tough sort of thing today. Danny Lauby played well all day. Yeah, I see a couple of his results. I didn't like, again, problem is with Q School on Dart Connect, there's like your list of players is like and it's so hard to keep up with everyone that's playing. Maybe too much spin. Maybe too much spin, I'm not sure. What flights am I using? Were you talking to Josh? My flights are standard Loxley transparent flights. I was saying to Charlie the other day when we were at darts on Friday, sometimes when I drop a flight on the floor I can't see it because it's transparent. Ugh, 100. Yeah, standard flights are going to get the dart to sit up the most in general. But maybe, like, if your accuracy's there, it also depends how good you are at cover shots, because if you're good at cover shots and your accuracy's there on your cover shots, then playing 20s all the time isn't the worst thing in the world. I've got better at my cover shots, but I generally don't need to use them all too much. streaming for? Just under an hour. What am I averaging now? Still about 60. I have the capability of playing better, but generally in Super League, where we play best of 7, over the course of like those 7 legs, or 4 or 5 legs most of the time when I lose, yeah, I'm averaging sort of 60 odd. So I mean, 3 weeks before Christmas I averaged 20.04, 20.06 and 20.05 3 weeks in a row, so pretty much bang on 60 for 3 weeks in a row. I averaged, my best average of the season I think is about 22, which I hit against Andrew Gilding when I went 2-0 up and lost 4-2, and he averaged 27.5 and absolutely destroyed me. But yeah, I've got the capability of playing better, and what I like, I was saying earlier, it's very rare that I drop below like a 60. I had one average of 51 this year, which was in a venue which I don't like playing in because it's so tiny and small and cramped up. But other than that, like my next lowest average of the year was like 19 something, and then other than that, it's been all 20s. I had an 85 last night, and against me, I did. I had about an 85 on Friday, and I had an 85 against Mark on online darts yesterday. But that was only over 2 legs, but it's a positive sign, because if you can average over, if I'd have played more legs, I think I would have been able to keep up to the point where I would have taken 4 legs if I was playing Super League. I think once you regularly average 90, then Q School is worth a go. Yeah, I think you can get away with averaging sort of, the thing about Q School, which someone told me earlier, is you can go to Q School with an 80 average, play to your 80 average, and play people who are good players as well, like known players. And what will happen is, because you'll meet people there, because what happens at Q School generally, there are people lurking about from management teams and sponsorships and stuff, and they'll sort of see people who aren't signed up or aren't well known, and they'll take that gamble on sponsoring someone. So Aaron Beanie, for example, if Aaron Beanie didn't go to Q School, fair enough, he got a tour card, so he probably would have been sponsored anyway, but at the point of Aaron Beanie entering Q School, he didn't have a tour card. Then he played really well, got on board with Loxley, and gained sponsorship. Would that have happened if he didn't go to Q School? Probably not. There are plenty of players who go to Q School and you see teams sign them up and they say, this person made it to stage 2 of Q School or was 1 point off Q School. Sort of these different things. So you can play well at Q School with an 80 or 85 average and gain opportunity through sponsorship. And I'm not saying that's you earning money, but having that sponsorship gives you the opportunity to play more competitive darts. It gives you contacts within the game to go and play in other tournaments like the online league and things like that, and that will make you a better player because of that. I'm going to JDC Q School this weekend. Good luck. I know Osty is going as well. Fan of the channel and all the channel with Osty. I know he's going. I wish the JDC was about when I was younger, but I didn't really start playing darts properly until I was 16. But I feel like the JDC is a good thing for darts. If Len's still here, he'll say, obviously he's played JDC in the past. I'm sure he'll have good things to say about it. 100. What I'm liking is I'm sort of slowly closing in around that treble. I'm hitting more darts that hit just above the wire. Oh, jeez. One thing I haven't looked up to is how Jules Van Dongen looks done at Q School, so I'm pretty sure he's at Q School this weekend. I think he's at Europe. He's at European Q School. Ugh. I like was it yesterday, Darren Webster's tweet, it was like predictions for day 1 of Q School, Darren Webster, and that's it. But Darren Webster doesn't even play today because he's at stage 2 automatically. That'd have been so funny if he didn't tweet that and just turned up today and they're like, "What are you doing it? You're not meant to be here until whatever day it is, Wednesday." Ugh. Another 45. Funny bloke, Darren Webster. Yeah, I've never met him, but from his tweets and just sort of stories I've heard of him, sounds like a funny guy. Hear lots of stories about Andrew Gilding as well, obviously because we live locally, and I play darts with people who have played with Andrew Gilding in the past and know people who have played with Andrew Gilding. Hear lots of funny stories about him. Ugh, throat's getting a bit slack now. Is there any way of watching Q School? There is not. They don't stream Q School. The only way you can watch Q School is through Dart Connect, and you can see the results go in live, and you can follow games as the scores go in. But that's it. You can't actually watch the games, in a sense. So if the website is tv.dartconnect.com. If you go to that, I mean it's finished now, so it won't be there, but tomorrow or whatever, you can watch the results go in live, and you can search for the players you want to search for, and you can see who plays who and all that sort of stuff. Really good system. Another 45. I'm trying for 125. $60. We'll keep going for another 10 minutes or so, and that'll be it, I think. Might finish with some. Let's play a game of 1-2-1. 1-2-1, 10 up, 1. No, we'll go 5 up, 1 down. Jesus. $76 remaining. Aren't they doing daily highlights this year on PDC YouTube channel? I have no idea. If they are, that's the first I heard of it. What do we have left? 76. Oh, what a bowl job. 40 left. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh my god, I drank that. That was terrible. What a terrible first visit on a 1-2-1. $24 left. When is your game and how many times have you entered Q School? I've never entered Q School and I'm not there this year. This is just a chat about Q School today. I'm not actually talking about my game of Q School because I've not played. Not good enough, unfortunately. Actually, I'll tell you what, I reckon I'll be good enough to win a couple of games at European Q School, but I'm not allowed to go to that because I live in the UK. Come on. My lord, can't it double to save me life? This one fucked me up as well. Sorry, I must have said that's okay. Yeah, not good enough for Q School. Also, if I was at Q School, I'd probably be in a hotel room. Or out something to eat at the minute, probably. 1-2-1 again because I can't hit double. Oh my lord. 57. No. 47. Oh my god, I can't hit a big number either. 47. 43. 33. Where can you find details regarding Q School and entering Q School? It will be on the PDC website. If you type in PDC Q School, however, Q School's already started and entries have closed, so you can't unfortunately do it this year, but you can enter next year, although the entries aren't open yet. They'll open towards the back end of 2022. What flights am I using? I'm using the Loxley sort of transparent flights, the feather transparent flights. If anyone wants to know what I'm using, video from yesterday, what's in my darts case. Done everything that I take to a darts match with me. What did I just hit? I'll start getting 1-2-1. Oh no, well, 33 left, no, because yeah. Oh my god, can't hit a double, can't hit a big number, everything's going wrong. Excuse me, hoodie sleeve keeps falling down. Left myself 24 again, come on, got 6 darts a double, can't miss all these. Oh my lord. I feel like when I practice I don't focus enough on my doubles. Like when I play, I would say my doubles percentage in matches is better than what it is in practice. Well hey, he's done it. 5 up, so I'll go to 1, 2, 6. Target Red Dragon, win more Harrows. Rate them best to worst in your opinion. That's a tough one. I'd probably put Harrows at the bottom, but they're not a bad company. I've always, when I was younger, used Harrow stuff because that was what was available to me. Flights and stems especially. I'd probably put Target third just because I think some of their stuff's a bit overpriced. Although the quality of their darts is good, like you can't buy a set of Target darts that are 90% tungsten for like 40 quid, which I think is absurd. Like, you should be able to buy a set of 90% tungsten. Every company should have a set of 90% tungsten darts that you can buy for 25 quid at least. At least one set. And then I would probably go Winmore and then Red Dragon. They're both the same company, but I think Red Dragon just sort of do a better range of darts for like beginners and stuff. I don't know why I went up there because I'm on 1, 2, 6. Start again. Right, 1, 2, 6. Yay, leaves me. I don't. When I stream, I just forget stuff. 96. 88. Of course it is. 28. 28 remaining. Boom. I'm currently using Target Orbs. They're decent. They're only for the way I play. Yeah, I heard good things about Target Orbs. I think they're 80% tungsten, are they not? But I think the thing is with Target is their 80% tungsten darts have dimensions of 90% tungsten darts from some companies because the density of their tungsten is heavier. If you get what I mean? So like the alloy within the tungsten is heavier, so it means they can slim down on the 8% barrels. Which darts do I use in matches? I use in matches and in practice generally these, which are my custom Matador darts Gen 1s. Oh god, they are 48mm long by 6.4mm wide. I done that, didn't I? So I'm on 131. 116, 96, oh, 76 left. So yeah, that's details. Oh my god, can't hit a big number today. Oh, I'll give up on that, I'll go one down. I was on, right, I'm on 130 now. 29, 110, 109, what a shocking visit. Stay true, just throw them like people value this. Is he actually having a go at me for not throwing darts when I was genuinely asked a question about what my darts are? Bugger. That's that done. 129. Ooh. 72 left. Last question, please respond. Is PDC TV worth subscribing to? Depends where you are. Some countries, if you subscribe to PDC TV, you can actually watch the big events, but a lot of countries now you can't because of the zone. But generally, I think they're going to do a pro tour every other weekend, I think it is. Look at the schedule on PDC and see how often the pro tours are. '27, 107. 88. No disrespect meant. No worries. People ask questions. I like to answer questions, and I'd like to answer them while I'm not throwing, just because sometimes people can't hear because my microphone isn't great when I stream. And yeah, I lose track of stuff. You're in the UK. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a tough one because PDC TV, you get to watch the Euro Tour events and you get to watch the Pro Tour events. So it's a tough one because I think they've changed the way it's going this year. I think this year they're going back to like weekend events, so you play Saturday, Sunday. So they'll generally have an event every month, if not 2, maybe 3. I think it's £5.99 a month or 50 quid for the year. So if you like to watch darts and you have free weekends, I would generally subscribe to it. For me personally, I wouldn't subscribe to it because I play football at the weekend, so I miss a lot of the Pro Tours. So there's no point in me subscribing, so I won't get to watch anything. Last year was worth it because I was at home, obviously, and the Pro Tours were happening during the week when I could watch them while I was working from home. Sarah, hello. Welcome to to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I used to have notifications when people subscribe, I don't seem to have that anymore. Yeah, it is just Players' Championships and Euro Tours. I don't think the Euro Tours have been set yet, but it will be the Euro Tours when they're set and people have qualified for them. Ugh. George, how's it going? Welcome. I'm good, thank you. I'm probably actually going to end the stream soon. I'll probably give it another 15 minutes or so, just to answer any last sort of few questions, have the last few throws. Try and hit some good darts, but at the minute that doesn't seem to be happening. Look at that, 26 and 2 on the wire. Have I ever got a 180? Yes, quite a few. I'm not one of these players that will be guaranteed to hit 180 every game, but I've hit a couple in the league this season, and I've probably played like 12 games. Obviously in matches it's difficult because you only get so many darts to sort of hit a 180. I hit a lot of 140s. My stats from this season on Fridays, I played 6 games, hit 6 106 pluses, and 5 of them have been 140s, and the other one's been a 180. Oh, I nearly hit 180 on call there. But no. But yeah, in practice I'll generally hit quite a few. I hit 4 the other night before my game. I hit 1 yesterday against Mark when I played him online. My darts are 23 gram 90% tungsten. 95% tungsten, sorry. Oh, look at that again. 2 on the wire of the 1. Nightmare. Are you going to watch the darts on the 29th? What's happening on the 29th? of January? Oh, is that the Masters? I will watch it on TV. I will not be there personally. It is only in Milton Keynes as well, which is unfortunate. I don't know if there's any tickets left, but I might try and get some. See if some of my mates want to go. Oh, well, I've been getting some really awful deflections today. Darts, right, thank you. Darts corner or double top darts, which store do you prefer? I've used them both really good shops. Double top are a bit smaller, so generally their dispatch times are quicker, but darts corner have a bigger range, so yeah, it depends how quick you want your stuff and what sort of things you want. You know how you get fangirls obsessed, I thought you said fat girls then. You know, you get fangirls obsessing over big YouTubers like Pointless Blog. Do you think you have those? Yes, Bob's is one of those. Although I don't think she fangirls over my YouTube, I think she just fangirls over me in general. Ugh. It's really weird because obviously I knew Bob's through Twitter and stuff before I met her in person. Same as Jack. Like, I knew them two through Twitter and stuff. Jack knew I lived local. I don't think Bob's did. I don't think Bob's knew I lived in the same town as Jack. Or she might have known but didn't really know of me. And then I met her at a couple of tournaments. And then, yeah, we play for the same darts teams every, like 3 days a week. Bob's doesn't play on Tuesdays, but she's the captain. So we see each other like 3 times a week most of the time. So we get on quite well. The Darts Masters, yeah. I'll be watching on TV. I might try and get tickets if they're still available. But in general, I'll be watching on TV. You're a good thrower, thank you. Trying my best. I average about 60, but I think my technique and my random flurries of good darts come and go. I say on Friday, I said earlier, on Friday I hit a 15 dart leg and I think it was a 21 dart leg, so I would have averaged about low 80s to high 70s, which doesn't sound great, but for me that's really good. That's like 20 points more than what my average would normally be on a Tuesday, but then on a Tuesday we play best of 7 and it's obviously harder to average as high over the course of so many legs. You've hit 2 180s. How close together were they? Those 180s, did you hit them sort of quite close together? Were they quite far apart? Because I'd hit one 180 in my life, which was about 8 years ago when I was practicing before a game, when I was 16 and everyone went mad. And then I didn't hit one for years, didn't play too much darts, hit a few 140s, and then when lockdown happened I hit my first 180 again, and then I hit my next one a couple of days later, and then slowly and slowly as I hit more 180s you get less excited about them, and then as you get less excited about them you sort of get used to that rhythm and you keep your throw the same and you hit more 180s. I've done a video on that last year actually. Is there a YouTube channel with reliable matches that have British commentary? In terms of live stuff, no. There are a few channels out there though that do show old games. The PDC channel have a few old games on it. I've done it again, look. Another 140. Oh my god. Kicking the ocky over. Now I've messed me board up, look. There we go. 3 weeks apart. Yeah, so they're not too far apart, considering you'd never hit a 180 before and then you hit 2 within the space of 3 weeks. It's one of those where once you hit a couple, you'll start getting them more often. Like for me, I can throw for like 2 hours at treble 20 and not hit one, and sometimes I can throw for 2 hours at treble 20 and hit like 5 or 6. It sort of just depends how you're throwing. Like for me at the minute, I'm sort of throwing a bit straighter. Kicking the camera, oh dear, yeah. So my camera's on a tripod and I have very limited space, and I need to get the camera in a certain position so that it focuses, so it doesn't go really bright. And the tripod leg sort of comes and just goes next to my hockey. So if I walk along my hockey and kick it, and my hockey's moved to the left because I stand on the left as well. If you want older matches, I hear Darts Instants and Moments have the odd match on there. You've got only 8. 2 180s in the space of 3 weeks for an 8-year-old is really good. I did play a bit of darts when I was younger with my uncle and stuff, but not anything serious. And I definitely didn't hit any 180s when I was that age. $85. If you want, oh, I've watched and read that. Do you use a mat where you stand? I use a folding ocky. So it's solid, it's on the floor, it's probably about 2.5 centimetres thick, so it's like not very thick, but it's just enough so I can sort of put my foot there and realise where it is. Because the one thing I hated when I was practicing at home was I'd sort of look down, put my foot down, look up, and I'm like not in the position I'd like to be in, so then I have to sort of shuffle across. Whereas sort of I stand back here, I can put my foot on the ocky without looking at it, kick the ocky, and I'm sort of there every time, which is sort of replicating match situations. And since I've had the ocky, I've been throwing straighter. Am I going to stream tomorrow? I'm not. I'm generally going to try and stream once a week, every Sunday. I can't on weekdays, unfortunately. $60. So yeah, Sunday's going to be my day. I don't have too much competition now, because back when I first started YouTube, but when I first started streaming, everyone used to stream. Like Darts Ref used to stream, Clash of the Tungsten used to stream, who hasn't uploaded for a while. Obviously he's busy with his family stuff and that, and work and all sorts of things. Mark Love Darts used to stream on a Sunday evening. Dynamite Dave used to stream. Like, it was so hard to try and fit a stream into at a point where you weren't clashing with someone. Whereas now the only person that really streams is Neil. And then you've got like other people who sort of do different things. So you've got like online leagues that stream and stuff like GDL and in the Mud League and bits like that. But that's sort of different. It's not like direct chat to people really. So I've ordered a new darts mat for where you stand and a new Blade 6 board or something like that, and a light around it. You're all set to play. As long as you've got a set of darts as well, you're all set to play. Ugh. What I would recommend on your darts mat is to look at something that will clamp to it to give you a raised occhy. I wish you could watch Q School on TV. So do I, but I think the reason they don't do it is because of, like, these players aren't contracted to the PDC. I mean, they're not always anyway on the Pro Tour, but it might be unfair to some. I guess the women's series they stream as well, but they're trying to promote women's darts. But Q School is different because if you do Q School, you generally want to put people on the streaming boards that are good at darts, which you can recognise because there are loads of players that are good that you can put on there. But then also it might give an unfair advantage to some people because some people might sort of crumble under the pressure of playing on a streaming board compared to others. And also there's chance there where people who go to Q School generally don't have a long-term sponsor, and you're sort of promoting people unfairly. So like, say someone went to Q School and someone played really well, averaged like 85 plus a week, got to stage 2 but wasn't on the streaming board, and then you had someone who was on the streaming board like 2 or 3 times, won their games 2 or 3 times, but then lost the next game and they weren't on the streaming board, that person who didn't do as well would get more publicity and would more likely get some sort of sponsorship over someone who maybe played better. And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, they don't want to be unfair to certain players. Unicorn Noir, Gary Anderson, 90% tungsten darts, very nice. Good darts apparently. I've not heard I've not used them, but I've heard sort of good things, and you can't really go wrong with a set of Gary Anderson darts. Any sort of set of Gary Andersons that aren't tungsten darts are going to be pretty good. Oh my lord. Come on. Oh, see, this is something like that is where I used to get frustrated because I'd throw 3 good darts all grouped together just above the treble and I'd get annoyed. But now, that's good darts. If you can do that and just get just above the treble, you know you've got the ability to hit a treble. I need to rotate my board soon actually. Another 3 darts. If I could get the average position of those darts in the middle, I'd be alright. How big are you expecting this channel to be? Not very, to be honest, because I don't put as much effort into it as I should. I think I uploaded twice during the World Championships and there were 2 darts reviews. And the World Championships, like, generally are like the time of year where you want to upload, and just after, so like now, that's why I'm streaming. Generally on my streams I wouldn't get that many people viewing. I haven't seen the stats, but there's definitely been more people watching the last 2 streams I've done compared to what I used to get before. And that's because the interest in darts is up. And YouTube's algorithm will recommend dart stuff to people more. So during the Worlds and after the Worlds, people will subscribe more, and then during the year it goes a bit flat. So where you really want to build your audience is just during the Worlds or after the Worlds. But the channel can be as big as I want it to be, really. It's just the efforts put into it, because I personally think if I put the effort in, I have the know-how and the equipment to make the highest quality videos. The only problem I have is my presenting skills and my confidence on camera. Like, they're not out of the world. Like, I was streaming stuff and put my face on camera, but I'm not one of those that will go out and like promote all my stuff. Like, for example, during a launch or something, or a darts company would tweet out a tweet about a new set of darts. Some people will respond to it saying like, well, if you want me to review these darts, feel free to send me a message. And I'm not one of those people. Like, I won't put myself out there like that. Like, I'll tweet when I have a new video out, and I'll tweet. I won't say like, send me a set of darts to review. I'll just go about my business and just do my own thing. And I've had some like Mission Darts. I've done some reviews from them, and they've sent me some stuff to review just purely because they've liked my videos and what I do. Obviously, I've worked with Loxley and done all their sort of promotional videos, and I've got all their sets of darts that I've done for their launch just gone last year, and their first launch darts and stuff. I've done all those videos because they liked what I do. I didn't necessarily ask them. I just we found contact and they liked what I did, and we've sort of built a relationship over that. So I'm not one of those that's gonna ask companies for free stuff because I don't personally feel like I deserve it, because I'm not really a reviewer. I do review darts, but I'm not a darts reviewer. I'm more of a general darts channel. I want to do more content on PDC darts and WDF darts and vlog when I go to darts events and stuff like that. But it's just having that urge to do it, because I think sometimes, so like the darts referee will make like a news video or something, and I just don't have the urge to sit in front of a camera and talk. $180. There we go. There's a 180 for the stream. Look. Let's read the chat. So I read the chat for a bit. So I'm waffling on. Darts referee's in Q school. He is in Q school. Didn't play well today though. I didn't see his game because I was at football, but saw a couple of bits. What is Q school? I only just got into darts properly. Use it to watch. Used to watch it with my dad, but never played it. Now I do 2 or 3 hours a day. So I don't know if you watch other sports. Snooker's pretty similar. They have a Q school. So you have the Pro Tour, which is 128 players have their tour card. So those 128 players are eligible to play every Pro Tour event of the season, and you earn prize money, and your prize money counts towards your Order of Merit over 2 years. After 2 years, if you're outside of the top 64, you lose your tour card and you have to earn it back through Q School. Q School is open to enter for anyone who wants to pay the ridiculous fee that you have to pay, unless someone can sponsor you. And then if you get through Q School and gain the tour card, you are part of that 128 players. There are different ways of getting the tour card. So if you are an international qualifier, so Raymond Smith, for example, who just played in this year's Worlds, he qualified through the DPA tour and he done really well. If he earns enough money during the World Championships to put him within the top 64 of the Order of Merit, he can earn himself a tour card. So there are other ways of getting onto tour outside of Q School. And the Order of Merit will be bigger than the 128 players that are on the tour, because you will get people who fill in for players that don't take part in those events, because they always want to have 128 people where possible. And that's how it works. Jack didn't have a good start today, but tomorrow he'll do a bit better. Let's hope so. I really want Jack. I know Jack's not expecting too much from Q School, and he's sort of gone there to make the video on his experience, but I really hope he, like, out of the next couple of days, he just has a game where he says, I went to Q School and I played well, because I think he sort of deserves that from sort of the work he's put in. So yeah, I'm hoping he plays well, even if he loses 5-0 but still plays well against a good player. I think he deserves that. What do you think darts referee will do if he goes to professional darts? Generally, I don't think Jack is actually expecting to get to professional darts, but I don't know really. It's one of those, you don't really know how well someone's going to do until they're actually on the tour. Some people play better than what they're supposed to, some people play worse than what they're supposed to. It's just one of those things. Scott Waits at Q School, but on the second stage as a result of Raymond van Barneveld from the World Championship. Yes. It's unfortunate really, because Scott Waits is a good player, but I think he's just had a bit of a tough couple of years in terms of playing darts. I think he should have gone to the PDC sooner, but I still think he should be good enough really to be on the tour. Oh. Jesus. If he does, he has to stop doing YouTube. Not necessarily. Matt Edgar does YouTube and he was on the Pro Tour. He'll just have to stop throwing darts on camera. Well, he'll have to stop streaming, I guess. And he'll have a lot less content to do. Because obviously he'd be part of the PDC, so he can't exactly say certain things which you might say now. But he could still do YouTube. He would just have to change his ways slightly. And also, if Jack was to ever get a tour card, he would still pretty much be an amateur player, because he wouldn't, not putting Jack down, but he wouldn't earn enough to stay on the tour. Like, there are some people who are in the top 64 who can't make enough money throughout the year to sort of sustain a living, so they still have some sort of job. So he would still play like Super League and probably pub darts and stuff as well. He just needs a confidence booster. Go for 54 treble 8 double 15. Bob's special. We'll try. Oh, I'm genuinely surprised I got that double 8, to be fair. Ah, just missed it. Bob Free wasn't in the stream earlier when I was talking about her. Ryan asked me if there's any people who fangirl over my channel, and I said I don't think you necessarily fangirl over my channel, but you make the point that you're a fan of me as a person. And I was also explaining the fact that you would have known of me before we met, and then we sort of met during the tournaments and stuff. I also bought Loxley stems and flights because Kurt uses and approves of them. They're not anything special, I just use them because I have a load of them. I mean, I've still got... Let me get the box out. I still have... So in here, this tub, which is like what, the size of my hand, just under? That's the tub. It's filled to about here. That's all Loxley short stems. Just the short ones. I have loads of others of other sizes as well. And I've had those since May of last year when I went to the Premier League. I just got given loads of stuff. I need to rotate my board. I bought the Matador darts 23 grams and Jack bought the Loxley case, but the smaller black one. Yeah. There's 30 sets in the world of my darts. 2 of them belong to me. There's actually someone out there that owns more sets of my darts than me. Or there will be someone who owns, and that'll be Nick McCartan. Because he bought 2 sets and he won a set on a card, so maybe he's investing in them, and when they eventually go up in price, which they won't, Might sell them on. Who do you support in soccer? I support football, yeah. I support Ipswich Town. And if you've never heard of them, I wouldn't be surprised, but Ipswich used to be a good team back in the day. Another 140, is it? Yeah, another 140. Yeah, back in the day Ipswich used to be a good team, but not so much anymore. Although it did well yesterday. I use a smaller black one because it's similar to the small Tacoma case. Yes. I'm always here, but yes, big fan. My love has been declared. That is true. I feel like we have to get on anyway because we play darts with each other 3 days a week. And if we didn't get on, then there'd probably be problems. Yeah, there you go. Someone's heard of Ipswich. To be fair, Ipswich they're not one of those teams that you wouldn't have heard of. It's just, they're still a pretty big team. Like, there's a big fan base. I use the Loxley Mist case because of the way, well, beforehand it didn't matter, but the way I use it now, if you've watched my What's in My Case video, which I know Ryan has, is if I had the black case, I wouldn't really be able to do it without the sponge, if you get what I mean, because it'd all just fall through. So, just do that now. Now I've been playing on stream for well over an hour, I'm actually warmed up and throwing some okay darts. Glad you said football instead of soccer, United. I hope that's not Manchester United. I've got a set of Matador darts. Yes, you have. 1 of 30. I appreciate everyone that's bought a set of my darts. I was saying the other day, it's really weird because some people bought my darts because they feel like they would get on with throwing them, which is fine, and some people bought my darts because they're a fan of me, which is really odd. Such a weird thing. Because it'd be no different to someone buying like Going Price's darts because they're a fan of Going Price. Like, there's genuinely no difference. The only difference would be is the way, like, they're a fan of Going Price because you're a good darts player, whereas some people are a fan of me because I speak to them on Twitter. That's basically like, that's the long and short of it. Where can I buy a set of darts? Unfortunately, there'll be no more made, probably, unless I win the lottery and I can buy some to have in stock. The problem is, because I've only sold 28 sets, and the issue is when you sell such a little amount, you can't really pre-buy them, because then you're sort of hoping that people buy them and you might invest money that you don't have. So I done them in a pre-order system. And I think I'm going to get a second set of darts made. So 180. So I don't really want to produce another load of these darts because I know I don't use them. But I also don't want to seem like a person who's just bringing out sets of darts for the sake of selling them, because I would genuinely use the second set of darts that I'm bringing out. Not like putting it against anyone that brings out darts, because like Jack, darts referee, for example, brought out a second set of darts and they sold out within like a couple of days. So it's one of those things, and also they're a good price. If you can buy, if you have the opportunity to buy some sets of darts and sell them at a good price, and they're darts that people would use, I don't blame people for doing it. Like, if I had a spare like 500 quid laying around, I would probably design a set of darts with Zach that I probably wouldn't use, but I know a lot of people would like to use, and just sort of sell them, because people would think like, oh, and the way darts is, people use a lot of sets of darts. People would see a set of darts and go, oh, they might work for me, I'll buy them, and if they don't work, they sell them on for a few quid less. That's just how it is. It's like me, the amount of sets of darts I have that, alright, a lot of them have been given to me, luckily, but I have sets of darts that I've bought that I've tried out and not liked, just because I like the look of them. Are you expecting Man United to get the Champions League? I genuinely don't know, actually. I haven't really kept up with the Premier League too much this season. I would remove the phone, but I have my club memberships under each one, so I know they're secure. Just put them in the zip bit. Oh no, use the small one. That doesn't have a zip bit, does it? Nightmare. This has been one of your longer lives. It has, because people have been in the chat and kept talking, which keeps me talking. And I'm not sort of tired of it yet. Normally what happens is I stream for about an hour, because I sort of have chat for about half an hour, then I have sort of 15 minutes where I'm still sort of enjoying streaming but I'm not really talking, and then the last 15 minutes the last person standing is probably Ryan, and he's still talking, and he's the only person I'm talking to, and then by that point I might as well just message him on Twitter because I'm getting bored of throwing darts. Oh my lord. Watch this space, the second ones are sexy. They are. Designed, well, the whole concept of the dart has been designed by me. I'm just waiting for Zach to do his magic. And then waiting for me to get paid so I can order some. Because with these darts, I'd preferably want to buy sets in advance. And then if there needs to be a second order done, I'd do a second order again. But I'd rather have like maybe 10 or 15 sets spare. So if anyone who perhaps missed the pre-order because they couldn't afford it at the time, or maybe someone who just missed it, they can just sort of buy the darts instantly. And then when I do run out, or I can put in an order just ahead of time so I always have sets in stock. Because what happened last time was I just done a pre-order, had like one spare set because I couldn't afford to buy any more. And then when the pre-orders went out and I'd sold them all, people were like, oh, what are those darts? Can I buy a set? And I'm like, well, I don't really have any at the minute. And then people have to wait a couple of months, and then they don't want to wait a couple of months, so they don't buy them. Whereas at least if I have like a rolling sort of at least 5 to 15 sets in stock, I'll always have darts to sell to people. 24-hour dart stream. I have thought about it. I have thought about doing a 24-hour dart stream. The problem is I don't think I have the energy to do a 24-hour dart stream. But I would like one day, if we can find a place to do it, to do a 24-hour charity dart stream and have like me, Mark from Love Darts, Jack, darts referee, whoever just wants to be on the stream, and just do like a 24-hour, like 2 people at a time playing games against subscribers in doubles matches, or just playing against each other, or playing practice games or whatever, just for 24 hours, just keep it going. Still quite early, keep thinking it's late. Yeah, Sunday's drag for me. I have football in the morning, which finishes at like 12:15. And then today I got home like just after 12:30 because I literally just played around the corner. And then, yeah, sort of just sat and watched a bit of Q School. And then come on and started streaming like 4:15. So I've been going for nearly 2 hours now, actually. What practice games or routines do I like? The simple ones, I like playing 1-2-1. Generally, checkout games are what I like to play because I think my scoring's at a good enough point where I can sort of rely on it. 1-2-1's a good checkout game. We have to check out 1-2-1 in 9 darts or less, and then you can go up or down. You can either go 1 up, 1 down, or you can go 5 up, 1 down, or 10 up, 1 down, or you can go up 1 if you do it in 9, or up. You can go up 10 if you do it in your first visit, up 5 if you do it in your second, and up 1 if you do it in, or up 3 if you do it in 9 in your third visit. That's how I do it. I like to play 201 just against the computer because it sort of preps you for those setup shots. I like to play just around the board doubles, but you only have 3 darts at each double, and then you just try and score as best you can. And then I play a game where a 100 is 1 point, 140 is 3 points, 180 is 5 points, and you have to get to 30 points. And the least amount of visits you do are what you do. Do you remember when you hit your first 180? Yes. So we were at a fours tournament when I was 16 or 17. Me and my teammates were just throwing at a board before a game, and I just happened to hit a 180. My first 180 in a game, in a proper game, not an online game, was this year my first league game on a Friday was my first 180 in a proper. Well, my first 180 in a proper game was in a tournament, but in a league game, it would have been my first Friday league game this season. How much longer are you going to practice? I have no idea until I get bored. I'll say 6:30 is when I'll finish. I have to play games with Jack's mum, so I'm staying here being fed up of being alone since the 29th. Yeah, you have pretty much been a lot. Well, you have, because Jack's been in isolation and then he's gone straight to Q school. Poor Bobs. Have a good time. I'll see you on Tuesday. Ugh. Yeah, I'll finish. We'll give it 10 minutes. We'll play another 10 minutes because that's 2 hours then, isn't it? Because I started at about 4:15. So we'll play for another 10 minutes and then we'll get off. 30. It's 6 o'clock in Ireland. It's 6 o'clock here. It's 6:05. I need to go to Ireland at some point. My family are. Oh my god! Well, my dad and his side of the family are from Ireland. And I haven't been for ages, but my family are from Limerick, so sometimes a bit of a pain in the arse getting to Limerick from the UK or from England. And that's why sometimes when I speak, I do a weird Irish accent. But generally my accent is very Suffolk, very farmer-like boy, although not as strong. As if you notice, I'm not as bad, but Adam White has a very strong Suffolk accent. I think he has more of a strong Suffolk accent when you just speak to him normally compared to in his reviews. 100. The World Grand Prix is in Ireland this year. Yeah, it's back this year, isn't it, in Ireland? I always like the Grand Prix in Ireland. It's much better for the atmosphere, I think. Nice variation on the 1-2-1 game. I'm going to give that a go. I used to play a simple version before Super League matches back in the day. Yeah, I like to just sort of vary it up a bit because I think sometimes when you go 1 up and 1 down, it sort of drags a bit if you get stuck on a certain finish. And I feel like you should be more rewarded for doing better because it also puts a bit of pressure on that third dart if you hit the 2. So if you're on 1-2-1 and you hit treble 20, single 11, it puts that bit of pressure on that bullseye shot. Because you want to go up 10, you don't want to just go up 1. Whereas if you only go up 1 and you go for bullseye, you sort of don't mind if you miss it because you've still got another 6 darts to sort of check out. Whereas if you go up by 10, you sort of get that bit of pressure on yourself. It's like trying to keep. It's like if your opponent's on throw and you hit like a treble 20, you want to try and get that pressure to sort of follow it up and hit a 140 so you can sort of break the throw. It's one of those sorts of things. Very random. What's your favourite drink? I don't know. I don't think I really have a favourite drink. I don't drink alcohol, so a favourite alcoholic, because I think if people who drink alcohol sort of drink the same alcohol all the time, so they can kind of pinpoint a favourite alcoholic drink, but I don't drink alcohol, so that's a tough one. I mean, if we're talking favourite drink, I'm a big fan of a milkshake. We can't drink milkshakes all the time. So, I'd probably say, if we're talking just like a drink that I would have at the pub, I'd probably say an orange and passion fruit J2O, but I don't always have them at home. So my favourite drink at home is probably just water, to be honest. I play 301 with my 19-year-old brother and I can beat him. Nice. Only one player I've had difficulty understanding is Gary Anderson. I understand Gary Anderson, but I think it's just what he talks about most of the time, rather than his accent. Like most of the time he just talks random waffle and you can't really understand what he's going on about because it's so random. Oh, go on, Shanghai on the ones in. Oh, double top, wasn't it? So good, double top. Come on. Oh, nice. Do you play any games on your PC or PS? Oh, I was meant to answer that earlier. I did see that earlier. I play PlayStation. I've got a PlayStation 5. You can probably see it. It's there. I play a lot of FIFA because I'm a fan of football, but I wouldn't say it's like a gaming game. I play a lot of Red Dead Redemption because I'm a big fan of the Red Dead games and series. I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Remastered because I was a big fan of that when I was a kid, so I like playing that. And generally I don't really play anything else. I haven't really installed anything on my PS5 yet, and there's not really been too many games that I want to download on my PlayStation yet. And obviously I don't get time to play all the games in the world, so what I'll generally do is, like, if I'm bored or I'm watching something on TV, I'll sort of jump on Red Dead Redemption and just sort of go through that. Because I've completed the story, I'm just trying to sort of complete everything. So, like, you can 100% the game, but I also want to do, like, look at all the animals on Red Dead and track all the animals and study them and kill all of them and skin all of them and stuff like that. So, just little bits like that I like doing, just sort of random things. FIFA I normally play with my mates, so that's obviously replay value in that because you're playing with your friends. But yeah, how you find the triple core? Good, probably one of the best boards I've used, but also I don't think it's worth that much more than the regular board or just a regular Blade 5. I think if you had the opportunity to buy a Blade 5 at £40 or a Blade 6 at 46 or the triple core, I would probably recommend buying just the regular Blade 6, because I generally don't think that this board has worn any slower or any better than a normal board. Any maximums this stream? Yes, we've hit 2. I hit a few 140s and kept bottling them. It wasn't so much bottling them, it was just unlucky because they'd all sit on the top wire. And then yeah, hit a couple about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. My laptop's actually about to run out of battery, so it's probably a good job we're finishing soon. Like the setup, do you use 2 cameras or one with 2-way? No, so this is 2 webcams. So this is my laptop webcam. So if I move my laptop, that camera moves. Although I do have another webcam, I just couldn't bother to set it up, and also it's not as good in the dark. So I think this camera actually lights me up better in the dark, although it's a bit lower quality. And this webcam is my expensive webcam, which I put on the board, which like auto focuses and stuff and changes depending on what you're focused on. So I put it all in the software called OBS, and you just stick the two together and you crop them down, and that's how it works. What I need to actually do is get back to putting all the little things on, like latest subs and alerts and things, but pain in the arse. I got one over Christmas and I'm happy with it. Seen a lot of people saying they've had issues quality wise in groups on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, so I had a couple of issues with mine, but nothing major. I don't know if you can see it on the stream. I might put my camera close. So seeing as I'm ending the stream, I'll sort of show you on my camera, but if we go over here, if you sort of see there, you can, oh, maybe you can't see. Oh, there you go. So it's like kind of, I don't know, it looks like something's like rubbed against it, like all the way down here. And you can sort of visually see it from the board. I can't seem to get rid of it. And then I had a couple of places where it looked like the size had been chipped. So I just had like a white segment. It was on the original 20 segment, but what I'd done is just got a black marker and just covered over it. So, but other than that, I think it's fine. A couple of the wires are a little bit raised in certain places, like compared to others. So like round here, like the wires are pretty much completely flush. But then as you get to here, like they're a little bit more raised, and I had that from the start. It wasn't since I played with it. But other than that, I think it's a really nice board. I don't think there's much wrong with it. Also, I'll let you into a little secret for those of you that are watching. I am about 200 watch hours away from being monetized on my channel. Now I know you don't earn a lot of money on YouTube, but that little bit of money that I get can help me just in general do more giveaways and stuff. So if you have any friends that are into darts and haven't seen my channel, I'd very much appreciate if you shared the channel with them. I want to get to that monetization so I can make a little bit of money back off my videos, just so I can you know, do some giveaways, earn a little bit of money from darts just to help me out, because obviously at the minute I spend all my money and I don't make any of it back. So the only way I make money back on my videos is if I was to buy a set of darts to review and sell them on. I also need to set up donations on the stream, but I'll get around to that. Right, what we'll do, we'll hit 3 more 100 pluses and then we'll end the stream. Let's see a Matador 180. You've missed 2 already. You missed 2 180s. I'll try and do one before the end of the stream. I want to hit 300 pluses, and hopefully one of them is going to be a 180. Going to go now. Need to practice around straight. Have a good one. Enjoy. Thank you for being in the stream and chatting. Appreciate the tech info. Would you please write the high-tech brand for the board in the chat? Okay. The brand of the board is Winmore, I think. Or are you talking about the software that I use, like to make the videos? Right, 3 100 pluses. You asked for a 180. I'll give you a 180. Give you a 180. Told you. G's Adventures. I hope you're happy. Ah. Oh, the camera. So the camera is a Logitech C920. There you go. But there you go, everyone enjoyed the 180. I said I'd hopefully hit one before the end of the stream. G's Adventures will ask for a 180, I hit a 180. Gonna hit another one. Ah. Another 140, one more ton plus. Hit 3 180s this stream. Nah. I say I want to hit 3 ton pluses before I finish the stream. It'll be 180, 140 and 100 when it will progressively get worse. You really want to hit, if you're going to end the stream on 3 100 pluses, you want 100, 140, 180. Not 180, 140, 100. But that's just the way it goes. Can't hit one now. Too excited. Solid 140, it was a solid 140. One of the darts was sitting a bit funny, which I think put me off. I tried to throw it a bit harder, so it bypassed that first dart. But I threw it too hard and went above. Thank you, no worries. Anytime. If you ever want to know any equipment, my Twitter is up there in the top corner. Up there. If you don't have Twitter, I'd highly recommend getting it, even if it's just to talk to the people on YouTube. They are very helpful. And there's 100. I said I'd do it. 180, 140, 100. That's how you end the stream. The throw is very smooth. I get told that a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't help me get more than a 60 average, but we'll get there. Good thing is with a smooth throw, it's consistent, and as I build it up, I don't really have to worry about dropping down too far, so that's a good thing. Anyway guys, thank you for such a good stream. It's been over 2 hours, my longest stream ever, probably my most active stream ever. All you guys have just got into darts. Good good luck with it. If you need any advice, obviously, as I said just a minute ago, follow me on Twitter. I'll be happy to help you out on buying darts or your setups or practice games or anything like that. I'm not a professional player by any means, but I know that I know a bit about darts. I've had enough darts to know what's good and what's not and what people want. Those of you that are new to the channel as well from the World Championships and just finding me and stuff, thank you again for joining. Those of you that have always been here for the last few months, once again, thank you to you guys. I'll hopefully see you all next Sunday. I hopefully will have a video during the week as well at some point. It may be a review of one of the new Loxley darts potentially, and I want to get a practice game out there as well. I want to do 2 uploads a week and a stream hopefully, so we'll get there. So anyway guys, thank you. I'll see you next week and in the next video. Have a good evening and a good week.